All right then. Well, welcome. We're talking about the activities that lead to the sale because I think this is a great time of the year in order to be able to do so. Now we've completed the second quarter of the year. We're moving on into the third quarter of the year. It is the summer sell down. It's the bosses away sale. It's red tag days. It's employee pricing. And customers are so conditioned for these sale events, for these surge events, for these activities during the time of the year. But the thing that doesn't really change are the activities that we must facilitate in order for a customer to be able to make the decision that they want to make, which is aligned with the decision that we want them to make, and that is to purchase our automobile. Well, we cannot forget, and if you didn't get a chance to see last week's video on, scroll down, you'll be able to see it there, on the buyer behavior and how they've ascended these steps in order to arrive at coming in to see you or I to purchase an automobile. That's not made in jest. It's not made easily. With the second greatest financial decision that an automobile is, this isn't just a haphazard, I wake up in the morning and today's my day, unless, of course, they've won the lottery or inherited a whole bunch of money or got a gigantic job promotion or got paid out on a particular bonus. Generally, that sort of thing happens at the end of the year anyway. But for the most part, I think most individuals that are looking at replacing the automobile that they currently have right now, and when I say most individuals, I'm saying 98% of the population, for a lot of those individuals that are either driven by necessity to purchase an automobile, their vehicle is aging, it is not covered by a warranty anymore, which I would call that driving around with an unprotected payment. They know full well anything could happen at this moment in time, and typically there is a noise, a creak, a groan, a grind, a hesitation, something to indicate that maybe it's now time to think about moving on from this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16-year-old vehicle. And when they have gone through and transcended that buying process that we talk about in biology, and now they arrive at either calling us or possibly emailing, part of that is the equation, and likely, hopefully, walking right into the showroom, there are activities that we need to follow in order for us to take that client from where they are now, that they've got a high desire of interest in our product, they're fearful of making the wrong decision too quickly, that they didn't get a good deal because they shopped long enough, to the pain of making a mistake and realizing that they've made that mistake for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16 years. We need to facilitate a series of activities which funnels that buying process. And the problem with average ordinary automobile sales trainers and the training that you've got in the past is that it's referred to, these activities are referred to as, and I giggle a little bit because for those automobile trainers that were really never successful in the very beginning, and it goes back to the old adage, those who can't do teach, and there's a lot of that, and people reaching out to you and saying, I can teach you how to make 10, 20, or 30 vehicle sales per month. They never add the predictable consistency. They never add the fact that they've got a system for you to be able to follow. I have a system of 3 phases and 9 steps called the Manifesto, and I'll link a comment below where you can find out more about it. Book a call with me, click on my bio, go to the website, have a look at what it's all about. The bottom line is it works in anywhere in the world that speaks my language. My apologies for those of you that English is your second language, provided you can understand what I'm saying. And I know I speak quickly sometimes. By leveraging these activities to get to what you want. You want every shopper to buy from you. I get it. It makes sense. And yet you sell 1 in 5, 1 in 8, 1 in 10, and that's painful. I know what that's like. I've been through that. I had that one miserable month where I couldn't sell one automobile. And so I leveraged every tactic known to the automobile sales business. I listened to everybody. Seasoned veterans, strugglers, novice, sales managers, general managers, dealer principals, my dad, my mom, and they know nothing about selling automobiles, but they know how to buy a vehicle. None of it worked. None of it worked because I was so desperate to sell a vehicle. And I really hope you're not going through that right now. But if you are, if you're struggling, you don't feel like you're part of the team, if you don't feel like you're getting the support that you desperately need, and you're looking for those presentation secrets, you're looking how to close more deals faster, you want to master negotiation, you know full well you don't have a pipeline full of hungry, anxious shoppers. Well, the few that you do have, this session right here is the most helpful to you because these are the activities that lead to a sale. And it doesn't matter whether you're dealing with repeat and referral buyers or your own network or even service department upgrades. If you don't leverage this funnel, putting people through the activities that narrow it down to become a buyer, then yeah, you're going to struggle. Those shoppers are going to pop out, and then you're going to have to rely on an incredible follow-up system, of which I can share with you in step number 4, prospect harvesting, or step number 9, leveraging apps and technology, which will harvest lots of buyers, fill your pipeline. The problem with that is it's very seasonal. Filling the pipeline works extremely well this time of the year. You know, the days are long, the nights are short, the weather's nice. People don't mind coming out and having a look at an automobile. I believe that your dealership, if there was one suggestion you could make in the sales meeting when they say, anybody have any suggestions, recommendations, how we can sell more cars? Buy an ice cream truck and make sure it's manned by somebody on a Sunday, because that's when people come in to have a look before they make the decision to buy. And they've transcended those steps. That's step number 4. The 5th and the highest step is to come in and see you. So let's assume that they've gone through all those steps. Now they're coming in to see you. Let's assume that they're in the showroom, which is even better. And they tell you, we're just looking. Don't waste your time on us. We're just shopping around. We're doing our research. We're probably not buying for the next 6 months to a year. There's nothing wrong with the automobile that we're currently driving. We just want to see what our options are. You know, explore everything that there is to offer. And we never, anyhow, regardless of when we're ready to buy, we never buy on the first visit. And we're always going to go home and sleep on it. I'm going to talk to my dad, my brother, my uncle, my aunt, my automotive authority, other than you, that can't sell me something, whether this is a good deal or not. I'm always going to do that. So give me your best price. Put your best foot forward. Make sure there's no wiggle room. There's nothing more I can possibly get. And then let me take that back and you know, let me sit down at the kitchen table and pour over my budget and see if that's affordable. If you buy those stories, if you listen to that dialogue, excuse me, pardon me, if you believe customers are doing that, then you're going to struggle miserably. And the simple idea is that in biology, our system of 3 phases and 9 steps is that by the time the customer reaches out to you, they're so ready to go. These are the intentional shoppers that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the unintentional buyer. These are the intentional shoppers. These are the people that woke up this morning and decided today's the day to buy a car. And if you're talking to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of those a day, and you're only selling 1 in 10, 1 in 8, 1 in 5, 1 in 4, 1 in 4 would be considered a 25% closing ratio. I'll bet you would say that that's better than average. Always remember what an average is. It's best of the worst and worst of the best. Don't compare yourself and don't try to be average. Certainly don't be below average. You can measure yourself and realize you're below average and then work towards coming up to at least average, but you want to excel way past that. Not for any other reason of being on the leaderboard, but it just makes life easier. You make more money. And when you make more money, you can do greater things. Those greater things could be giving to a charity. That could be helping your children with an education fund. That could be helping your children start a business. Maybe you don't love the business that you're in. Maybe you don't like commission sales. Maybe you don't actually love selling automobiles. Maybe you don't even like automobiles, but it pays the bills, right? Well, then pay the bills really, really well. And you pay those bills really well by funneling your customers through the activities that lead to the sale. Here's the thing. When you're aligned with your customer, I've said it before, and you will see that in last week's video, customers buy from people that they like, and we talk about subconscious trance and communication strategy and how you can really get in their heads so they will understand that you are a trustworthy, believable salesperson, not trying to hoodwinkle them, not using some tricky talk track or slimy tactic to convince them to buy, that you really do care for their well-being. And you do that through the activities that lead to the sale. So the very first activity, you're greeting, this is where average ordinary automobile salespeople screw up the sale, in my opinion. Really foul it up. Excuse me, pardon me. I was racing mountain bikes last night. It was dusty. I was having a ball with my buddies. I've been off the bike for a little bit. Had a little bit of a hand surgery on a tendon, and then I had a kidney stone. So I took some time to rest from racing and riding in general. Last night went back to it, and now I seem to have phlegm or a frog in my throat, and I'm trying to drink as much water as I can because of the kidney stone. I've got to hydrate a whole lot more. Anyhow, maybe you know what that's like. Oh my gosh, was that ever an experience and a half at 1:30 in the morning going to the ER and tell him, yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain is 10. Absolutely 10. Anyhow, it's gone. It's over with. When we look at the welcome that we have with our customers, how we're greeting them in the showroom, even on the phone for that matter, even on email. You can do this through email as well. When we greet them, are we getting down to business? Are we doing and delivering on what they want? Because I don't believe that we are. I think in many cases what we're doing is going through the motions of selling and thinking in the back of our head, like, I don't really believe that you're going to buy in this first visit anyhow, so I've got to churn through you to get on to another one, to get on to another client, to get on to another greeting, to get on to another greeting. And that's why I say it's a funnel. Because you're going to do, as you are right now, a lot of greetings. The ideal funnel, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, how do I make this really work better for me and easier, Bill? The ideal funnel is actually a column. We have salespeople that came to us struggling miserably, and now their sales are a column. So the pipeline flows right into a column, and those are the activities that lead to sale. And that's why they're selling 1 and 2, 1 and 1.2. Yeah, you can sell better than 50% of the people that you meet with a column. But most of us have to have a funnel. So we do a lot of greetings. We do fewer interviews, second activity. We do fewer product presentations, third activity. We do fewer demonstration drives, another activity. We do fewer trade appraisals, another activity. To close, and the close is the bottom of the funnel, right down here, right? When we've done all those activities and people are still with us, they probably want to purchase it. And it's really easy to accomplish that. But the reason why you have to do so many greetings with so many clients, and you think what you need are so many leads, we can get you hundreds of leads, thousands of leads, easily and organically through our prospect harvesting step number 4, or through leveraging apps and technology with Facebook advertising and leveraging Meta to your advantage, as well as Google advertising with something as simple as keywords, not to mention as cheap as dirt on YouTube. In order for you to get those leads to funnel into the column, you just need to do a better greeting. You just need to get down to business. And so be painfully objective with yourself. Are you really doing a great greeting? Are you really making an unbelievable, indelible, stamped into their mind impression that they wouldn't go anywhere else? Are you really doing that? And I believe that for the majority, we're not. Greetings such as, welcome to our dealership. I am full name, first and last name, and the department that I work in, followed up by a question, an open-ended question, right? How many times have we been told that? What can I help you with? The greeting at Walmart and Costco, in my opinion, is better. Because the greeting that you get at Walmart or Costco is, here you go. Here you go. Right, at Walmart, it's here you go, and they give you a cart or a basket. You may not want a cart or a basket. Maybe the item that you are purchasing there is so big, you need a cart. And what do? You fill it. Even when you don't want a cart or a basket, you say, no, thank you, it's okay. And you go into the department, you find the thing that you're looking for, and it's too big, and you have to go back for a cart. You kind of feel a little bit shy and guilty that you didn't take a cart in the beginning. And then as you walk in, you see a couple of things that you like. And as you walk back to get the cart, you see a couple other things that you want. And as you go back in with the cart, you put those things that you like in the cart. You pick up what you originally went in for. Lo and behold, you walk out spending a whole lot. That's retail. What is it like when we go to IKEA? IKEA has bags and carts. Now they have more carts than bags because you can put more stuff easier in a cart than in a bag. A bag gets heavy. It weighs on your shoulder. It kind of hurts the shoulder blade a little bit, right? But you can't go directly to the thing that you want to get to. What is it like at Canadian Tire and Menards? Same thing. Home Depot. Lowe's, right? We walk in and it's a maze to get through to where we want to go because that's retail. We use a worse greeting than those people. Costco, do you have your membership card? Would you like a cart? Do you have your membership card? Would you like a cart? Only members are allowed in. That's exclusivity. That's scarcity. You know, I want to come in and just have a look around. Well, you can, but you can't buy anything. Well, why not? Because you have to be a member. When you go up to cash out, you got to have your membership card. That's why we ask for your card as soon as you walk in. That's what they'll tell you. So that we save you the grief of filling a cart and then realizing that you have to get a membership. So you got to park the car to the side, go and buy the membership, come back, check out. It's an unpleasant experience. And yet what do we do at the dealership? We create an unpleasant experience right out of the gate when there shouldn't be. We create barriers and brick walls when there shouldn't be any. Greet all your customers with, what did you come in and see and drive today? There's your $1 million greeting all in one. That will make you $1 million. What did you come in to see and drive today? They'll tell you. And then when they tell you, go back to the last video I talked about where we identified subconscious trance and generated all the positive subconscious prejudice with you. You can hear whether they're fast or slow speaking, if they're friendly and animated, or if they are less friendly, demanding, or an enthusiast. And then you can mirror and match your activity to match theirs. Look, we sell the second greatest financial decision that people make. You need this stuff. You need to learn how to do this. The reason why you only sell 8, 6, 7, or 8 vehicles per month is not because of leads. If you had 10 leads in a month, you should sell 9 to 10 vehicles. Every single one of those people have transcended a process to purchase, and they will buy. Make no mistake, they're either buying your new vehicle that you make a commission on, or they're buying the vehicle that they're currently driving, and they're going to your next competitor to buy from them. That is one of the worst case scenarios. The second greatest worst case scenario, in my opinion, is they buy the vehicle they're currently driving. Meaning they keep making the payments on it. And then they go on to something else. They go, you know what we should get? We should get a boat, or we should get an RV, or we should go on a trip to Disneyland. That's what happens. So don't let that happen to you. Start off with your greeting. And then right after the greeting, you've determined they're fast or slow speaking, go to an interview. It's not counseling, qualifying. We don't want to qualify our buyers yet. We want to counsel them to find the right selection, but it's a conversation. Treat it as such. Interview them. Trying to find out what they need. I don't know what other word to put to it, but I think counsel qualify is more convoluted than an interview. An interview is just a conversation between two people. When you were getting the job as a salesperson at the dealership that you're currently at, you went in for an interview. Find out more about the job. Find out more about the people that work there. Find out about the boss that you're going to work with. They're doing the same with you. They're finding out about you, finding out about your punctuality, finding out about your sales ability, finding out about your commitment to the brand and to the industry. It's an interview. Nobody's committed to anything other than the fact to get together and have a conversation and see if we can get along and like each other. Do the same with your customers. Can we get along? Get their name and phone number. If they won't give it up, come back to it. Tell them the vehicle that they're looking at by asking, what brought you in today? What did you come in to see and drive, right? And they're like, well, I want this particular brand, this trim level, and in this color. Great. All of our ones that we have these features on them. Does that sound like a nice vehicle? You hear the closing aberration and how much it has changed. We find out from the customer what they want. We tell them what we have and what is on it, and then we ask them, does that sound like a nice vehicle? I didn't ask them to buy it, but I'm qualifying them, right? Does that sound like a nice vehicle? They go, yeah, that sounds like a nice vehicle. Great. Anything else that you'd like to add to it? No, I think that's good for now. Terrific. Tell me about the vehicle you're driving. Will you be selling that to us, trading it in, or will you be hanging on to it and giving it to a spouse, a sibling, sell it yourself privately? They go, I don't really know. Okay, well, can we put a number on it for you? Then at least you know what it's worth. And they go, yeah, sure, that would be fantastic. And so you get all those details: year, make, model, mileage, condition, maintenance, monthly payment. Why do you want to know the monthly payment on the vehicle they're currently driving? What if it's paid off? Good for you. Not a lot of people have the ability to do so. What was the monthly payment? Right? That will determine the budget going forward. So if they had a monthly payment on a fully loaded pickup truck, and it's, say for instance, a Denali, a Longhorn, or a Laramie, or a SR5 Tundra, or a Platinum F-150, and they paid $850 a month for that vehicle, that today is well into six figures and is probably going to run $1,800 to $2,400 a month. You got to ask them, because of hyperinflation through the pandemic, vehicle prices have gone up quite sharply. That monthly payment that you have has now quadrupled, right, from $800 to $2,400. Are you okay with that? Is that still affordable, or should we look at something more affordable? Don't be surprised if the client says, no, it's a Denali that I want, it's a Platinum that I want, it's an SR5 that I want. It is what it is. Probably when they purchase the one they're currently driving at $850 a month, they were probably coming out of another truck that was, at the time, $450 or $500 a month. This is not unusual. The rule of 7/8 that investors will share with you all the time is that money doubles every 7 to 8 years. Maybe the home that you're living in, the home that you purchase, has doubled 2 or 3 or 4 times. That's definitely what we have seen throughout Canada and the US. So when it comes to the interview and narrowing down to the affordability factor, so that you're not wasting yourself on a product presentation, demonstration drive, the trade appraisal, and then trying to close them on a vehicle that is not affordable by jeopardizing your gross, and they say, I've got to go home and think about it, this is way more money than I thought of. It all starts at the interview, doesn't it? If you find a lot of customers, say at the end of your 3-hour presentation, demonstration, trade appraisal, and closing attempt, they go, okay, this has been great, you've been wonderful, we had no intention of buying today, we got to go home and sleep on it, talk about it, whatever the case is. That's your fault, not theirs. And if you let them go, well, then you've lost control. However, the good news is, if your communication strategy is dynamite and you can reel them back in, you've got a better than 1 in 3 chances of closing that deal. You got a 73% chance. That statistic hasn't changed in a very long time. So there's a good chance you're going to be able to close them again. But the problem is you've lost control. The chances of them coming back are really stacked against you. The chances of them coming back are stacked against you. So let's not let that happen. In the very beginning, let's find out the affordability factor before we move forward to a product presentation. Let's assume that they said it's affordable, and then the next activity in your funnel is a product presentation. This is the one that so many salespeople skip. Now, for good reason. A lot of our manufacturers haven't done live product training in a long period of time. A lot of you are new in the business, and probably the person that told you a little bit about product training didn't actually show you how to do a walkaround. Next week, I'll show you how to do a walkaround right here in this class on the Auto Sales Academy and the Auto Dealership Academy on LinkedIn. The bottom line is, if you don't do the product presentation, you can't move them from a logical state of mind of how much is it to an emotional state of mind that just got to have it. The product presentation does part of that. Kind of moves them from here to about here. Not quite to their heart, but definitely gets them out of their brain where they would like to own it. The demonstration drive is the next activity in the funnel that really gets them to love it. This is the part where they just can't live without it. You need to get them to that. If you don't get them to there, it doesn't matter what your price is. They're still going to say, I got to think about it. I got to sleep on it. Leave it with me. I had no intention of buying. I don't need to buy for the next 6 months. I'm not buying till the end of the month. I'm waiting for employee pricing. I'm waiting for the new model to come along. So I'll compare the new model versus the old model, And you guys will probably be more excited about selling the old model towards the end of the summer because all the new ones are arriving, right? Buyer behavior. Excuse me. Excuse me. My goodness. Buyer behavior has changed. Selling has not. The fundamentals of selling are exactly the same. Meet, greet, make a friend. Show them exactly what they want. Demonstrate it to them. Take them out on the roadway and show them how a world-class vehicle rides, drives, stops, starts, and how the vehicle will tow more, carry more passengers, load more in it, and it'll be way better than the vehicle they've got to the vehicle they're going to, and they'll buy. Those fundamentals haven't changed. But we're not doing a great job of product presentation. At least you're not doing a great job. And this is the reason why you're here and in the private members group. And I commend you for that. That is great. But if you really want to get to 10, 20, and 30 vehicles per month, here's the thing. With predictable consistency, any one of you can have a 30-car month. But if it's once in your lifetime, that's a shame. If it's twice a year, that's a shame. If it's 4 times a year, once a quarter, that spikes on the graph for you, great. But the bottom line is, in order for you to have a better life, in order for you to, sorry about that, that's my puppy Gus, that puppy Duke, one of my puppies. I think somebody must be upstairs because normally he never comes into the studio. That was priceless. He's a character. Love him to death. The bottom line is that you need to do these activities that lead to a sale, right? This is how people buy. This is how you buy. Like, as I stated in the very beginning, whether it's Canada Day, yesterday or 2 days ago, pardon me, or July 4th tomorrow for those of us in the States, you make plans. You know exactly what your plans are going to be. And there's a thinking stage, there's a research stage, there's maybe if you're going out for fireworks or you're going out to a concert or you're going to a different city to celebrate it, there's an activity that you would want to map out the route to get there, what hotel you're going to stay in and how you're going to get down to that venue where it's going to be a huge crowd of people, even if it's just to have friends over, right? We're going through those activities. We're going through those steps. And there's steps that are climbing up. This is work. This is effort. By the time the customer gets to us, we want the steps going down, descending, make their life easier. That's why I use the funnel analogy, right? That you do the greeting, and they're going down all the way to close and drip out the bottom to be a delivery. And then, of course, follow-up surrounds the whole thing. I hope you found this really helpful. My name is Bill Harvey with the Auto Dealership Academy on LinkedIn, the Auto Sales Academy on Facebook. If you know somebody else that could benefit by this, please tell them about these sessions. A high tide raises all ships. If everybody in the whole industry was doing this, customers would buy faster, more consistently, and really enjoy the purchase process. Now, it's the bad salespeople that are out there that piss customers off. And then you wind up with them and having to restore the whole process and restore their faith in the industry and in salespeople and your brand. So if we were all doing it together, we would all do a whole lot better. And of course, if you want to know more about it, then join the Manifesto, our online system of 3 phases and 9 steps that will really help you hit your maximum potential. Not just hit your targets, not just accomplish your goals, but reach your maximum potential, selling 10, 20, 30 vehicles per month with predictable consistency. If you find that impossible to believe, not just difficult, not just challenging, if you are struggling to believe that every shopper is a buyer, if you feel like you're competing with people on the floor, like you've been thrown out on the showroom floor to sink or swim, and the rest of the entire floor is looking at you the whole entire time, as though as soon as you leave your customer, they're running around the corner, they're talking to your customer who's getting back in their trade-in, they're buying their trade-in, they're leaving you, they didn't buy right now, and they're saying to them, look, Bill's new, he doesn't really know what he's doing. If you didn't get the questions answered you're looking for, if you didn't get the price that you were really happy with, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll look after Bill. Don't worry about it. If you feel people are doing that to you, and to make no mistake, they do. Unquestionably, you're a high performer or you're a rising star. The person who is selling 10, 20 vehicles per month and just started at the same time you did, and for whatever reason they've taken off, make no mistake, they got a pair of skates on and they're working that lot and they're going around you And the seasoned veterans that are trying to sell 10, 20, 30 vehicles per month over top of you are saying, yeah, that's my customer. I'll go out and look after them in a minute. Make no mistake, if you feel a little alone, a little bit afraid that you can't make this your career, stop. Book a call with me. It's free. 15 minutes could change your life. It's easy and simple. I'll put a link below in the comments. Just book a time and a call. Show up for your call. Please definitely show up, because you're taking your spot away from somebody else who wants to do this. And you're like so many of the clients that we had, and like the 25 people that were in the class this morning before this one that are part of the Auto Dealership Academy. And that's a weekly class, as well as the one-on-one coaching they get from me. You can book as many one-on-one sessions with me as you want as a member of the Auto Dealership Academy, the Manifesto. And of course, there is the online on-demand, our 3 phases and 9 steps that you can get 24/7 on any laptop, tablet, smartphone, desktop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can get it at home. You can stop in the home computer, pick up at the office computer. You can stop there. You can go on vacation to Disneyland. As long as you've got an internet connection, you can pick it up on your phone. If you want to watch a 10-minute video, I'd be honored that you do. I don't expect that you do. You can get all of this inexpensively, fast, with lifetime access. That's unheard of in this business, in the training world. The only reason that I do that is I'm an automobile dealer to this day. I know what it's like to be you. I've sold automobiles. I've managed the floor. I've owned 2 dealerships. I own a dealership right now. And so everything I share with you is tried and tested out there on the showroom floor. I'm the only trainer that was a new car franchise owner and is still a dealer to this day. I'm the only one. Period. Plain and simple. There'll be others that tell you that they are. Ask for the paperwork. I'll show you my license. Happy to do so for you. Show you that it's a dealer. You can even search me up and find out what it is. The bottom line is, it's tried and tested. This isn't rhetoric. These aren't skills that don't work. This isn't something that I dreamt up. I'm definitely not the guy who didn't make it so that I teach now. I'm the guy that did it. Earned the t-shirt. And I just love teaching and helping others achieve their maximum potential. And that's the reason why I'm doing this. So I hope you have a wonderful day, fantastic weekend, and follow me next week, same great place, same great platform, where I'll share with you the presentation secrets that close 1 in 3, 1 in 2, and 1 in 1.5. Your presentation has to be riveting. You must focus on hot buttons. You don't have to know everything about the whole vehicle, because that's not what is important to your particular client at that time, because no 2 customers are the same. And if you don't know what that means, go back and watch the last video where I share with you no 2 customers are the same. And your activities follow the same activity right now. So have a wonderful day, terrific weekend. Look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye for now.